Look at 7, 8, 9 here on your paper. I'm going to take these three problems, and this is, so I'm going to go to a new sheet. Here they are, right there. Here is one more way that we have kind of the beginning of what I'm going to teach, one of the lessons while you're gone, okay?
Please turn off the light so I can see the.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
This is extremely easy. What do y'all think you do here? You've done this before, but I'm just,
Plug it in.
all you do is plug it in. Room for error, little room for error is when you have a negative number and you square it. Okay, make sure you put it in parentheses. But that's all you do. Okay, so the answer to this one is negative 47. Negative 3 squared is 9. 9 plus negative 18 minus 38. Left to right. Okay, so for this one, watch. So you have negative 2 squared minus 5. Negative 4 minus 5 is negative 9. Don't lose this negative that was at the beginning. Okay, that's old school algebra 1. You don't forget the negative. Okay, 2 squared is 4. There's still the negative. Okay, minus 5, negative 4 minus 5 is negative 9. Last one, you have negative 1 to the 4th power, parentheses again. Okay, it's positive 1. Minus 9 times negative 1 squared plus 18. And the answer to that one is 10. Evaluate, all you're doing is you're just replacing, or the math term, substitution. Believe it or not, you're actually using the synthetic division of the coefficients. Okay, you're taking out the coefficients and replacing numbers with the variable. That's the fancy way to do it. Okay, easy. 1, 2, and 3, done. Okay. All right, y'all ready to move on?
Should I tell you find the real and complex roots?
No, just different kind of problems. You're just evaluating. That's all. All right, let me get the other. So today we are going to work on, this is the new material. I had your notes printed out, but you will need a calculator. Go ahead and get it out.
Notes, right?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I have problems printed out for you.
I need a calculator also.
Okay. If you need a couple, Michael, I think yours is done. John Francis, get up and Michael.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Who needs a calculator? Who else? John Francis. Where's mine?
Ms. Miller, are you staying after school today for a little bit or not?
I am. I'll talk to you in a second. Because I know where you're. All right, let's look at this sheet. Everyone not here on LMS, you have this sheet here. All right, this is pretty much all calculator on this. So it's a video you want to make sure you watch, and if y'all don't get it today, watch this video again, okay? All right, state the max and min. State the number of turns the graph of each function can take. We'll get there in a second. Sketch the graph, approximate that and that. We'll abbreviate and call that relative max and relative min. The fancy word for this, y'all, and you will hear this again no matter what class you take, is extrema. It's one of the weirdest words I say in any of my math classes. I know, right? Okay, look at number 1. Basically, we're graphing. Okay, you see the blank graph? We're going to graph. All right. I'll leave it there for now. Okay, type this in your graphing calculator. Go to y equals x to the third plus 8x squared plus 21x plus 14. What do I hit next? Graph, yeah. Okay. Visually, hopefully you can learn by now, this is a degree of what? 3. You can tell that by looking at this graph and also at the equation. All right. Now, let's take a second. Go to second table. You've done this before. And the glare. Okay, come try and get another one. Guys, if you don't have a calculator at home, you're in trouble. Okay. You can go to desmos.com. Try the one. Try that one. Okay. Move your cursor to where you see points that you can graph. So let's look at -4, -6. What's next? -3, -4. -2. Where am I?
-4.
Thank you.
-1 and 0.
-1 and 0. And 0 and 14. So it's kind of up here. I'm going to write it about right there. Okay. So go to your graph. Now you're just going to sketch. So you're going to, I'm going to kind of copy. All right. Is it right there? All right. Let's go to second calc. And then stop there. I want to make sure everybody caught up. We are sketching. I'm going to write that word. Not really graphing. I mean, we are graphing. I go ahead and hit 3. 3 for minimum. There it is. Okay. So you're gonna need to play around with your arrows here.
So second calculate,
Hit 3. I had to move mine around. You would have found that cursor for me?
if you hit enter when you get to,
Just sit tight for a second. This is probably not the best one to do. Let's come back to this one and you'll see why. Okay. You see how the line's flat-ish here? That's not really what I wanted to happen. Let's go to number 2. My apologies. Go type in number 2. X to the 3rd plus 14x squared plus 60x, that's a large number, plus 77. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Whew. Crazy graph. So look at this graph real quick, and then I'm going to have you sketch it. Do you see how the loops are way obvious? Look at this one. There's loops in there. You just can't see them. I'm probably just going to skip that one because it kind of defeats the purpose. Okay. Let's sketch this on our graph, and then it'll become obvious. So go ahead and go to second table. Plot your points that you can plot. There's about 1, 2, 3. I count 6 plottable points on this cute little graph. So we have, let's see, -7, 0. -6, +5. -5, 2. -4, -3. -3. So crazy enough, look at those points. You see, I know. I have to have. Should have the same plot points I do. No, I'm going to tell you, I had to go back to my graph to sketch this. Okay. Now, what is the relative max and relative min? Okay, you remember quadratics, we had a max and a min? Okay. The only difference here is this is not a quadratic, but this point here is the relative max. And that point here is the relative min. Those are the ones that we are focusing on. Do you see how the first one, the graph just did not work? That was not obvious. So now go to second calc. And you can just hit 3 again. There we go.
it's like an equation that pops up.
Let me see.
Is it left down?
You should have some X and Y coordinates show up. Yeah, you just gotta move the cursor. Look. -3. There it goes. Just move the cursor and you'll see. Yeah, it's right there. It's blinking. You want to find what I want you to see. This is where it gets a little gray, but gray is good. We need gray. Do you see how my cursor is? You want to watch what I'm getting ready to do, and then you can do it. I want the point, the calculator's giving me the exact. I'm going to go left and right. You're going to see the cursor move a little bit. Which ones looks, go and get it, to be the relative men? This one, it's like you're at the eye doctor. Which one's better? This one or that one? One or two? Two, right? Okay, so do you see how you have the X and Y? They're a hot mess, right? A bunch of decimals. That's okay. You're supposed to have decimals. So the relative men here is this point. -3 point, I'm going to say 3.2. You see how I rounded? Oops. Comma, and the Y is -4.4-ish. Now, calculators are a little different. You might be a tenth off or two.
I don't really understand.
Okay, you gotta follow along. You're not following along. You gotta follow along. Okay, I'm going as slow as I can. So here's the men. Now I want you to use your cursor left and right. Go up to the relative max, and we're going to do the same thing. Find where it's easier. Not easier. Where it's going back to the eye doctor. Which one's more, this one or that one? One or two? To me, that one looks the closest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So our relative max is, what is X? -5.9, comma, our Y is pretty much at 5. Close to 5, 4.96. Now,
Select thing,
what select what?
like the part where you get to go to the different points, because I keep
You-
pressing my arrows. and-
You just got to keep pressing it until it comes up.
This one takes back on to.
Yeah, hurry up.
Press the left side.
Sometimes it's the up and down arrow, sometimes it's the left, right. Okay, so our answers will be decimals. Okay, this is where the gray comes in. How are you going to get this wrong? If your X is like -10, not even close. Is there going to be some leeway here? Absolutely. Michael's answer for this one might be 5.8, even 5.7. It's fine. You're in the relative direction, okay? All right, let's do another one, and then it'll be time to go. Go to Y equals. Allison, make sure you keep up. This is a degree of 4. So we have X to the 4th minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 2. Clear? So you go to graph. So degree of 4, our relative min is here. Our relative max is kind of somewhere in the middle there, okay? Does everybody understand the min and max? Okay. All right, so first of all, let's sketch the graph. Find your, look how high those numbers go. Find points to graph. All right, so I have -2, 2. No, I'm sorry, -2, -2. -1, -6, 0, -2, 1, -2, 2, 6. Keyword here is sketching. So I'm going to take my pencil. And I am starting up here. I go down. There it is. Relative min is there. And relative max is somewhere in there. All right, who remembers where to go to get those? Second calc, good. Second calc, let's just do 3. Enter, and my cursor should be right there. Yours should be somewhere in the middle. I'm gonna do min first. So to me, this looks the closest. So my x and y are -1.36 and -6.85-ish. Okay, we're approximating. Now I'm going to move and I'm going to go right. To me, that looks the best for relative max. That's lower. That's about it. So you have 0.45 and -1.67. Some advice, Allison, I think this was part of your problem. I had it at the beginning. When you first put the graph in and you're trying to find this cursor, guys, these buttons, you're going to have to watch the numbers change, and you may just have to play around and find it. Sometimes the cursor disappears, okay? Now, what I want you to do is, so this is different than normal. The rest of the notes, I'm going to finish this. Okay, so you're going to have to watch the rest of this video to finish these notes, okay? The key for While You're on Virtual is doing the work that I do up here, okay? And I'm going to send the online quiz. I think you'll like the online quiz. It'll be pretty easy, open notes. The lesson that I will do in addition is a formula. Okay, it's kind of fun, something different, but just make sure you copy the notes. Chances are I'm probably going to do a notebook check for a classwork grade, just so I know you did what you were supposed to. Okay, I'm not going to score anything except the quiz that I have taught. I will not score this. This is a lot of gray, and I understand we're not done with this. Okay, so y'all can go. Email if you have any questions.